All right, good morning, guys. We're going to give it a minute and wait for some people to come join us on this YouTube Live. Got the cleaning crew here at the house working on, that's who is on the background, and I have no idea how to blur the background on StreamYard. But hey, welcome. All right, so here's what we're going to spend some time talking to you guys about today. And I don't have a lot of time available, about half an hour today, so I'm a little bit rushed, but I would welcome all of your calls. We're going to talk today about Trump 2.0. At least that's what I'm calling it. I don't know if anybody else is calling it. So Trump 2.0 and what he is going to do to ACA. So do me a favor, down below, comments, if you're watching this thing live, tell me what you think Trump is going to do to ACA in this next administration. All right, so here are my thoughts, okay? So I'm looking at four things, and let's see if I don't have another brain fart and forget the four things that Trump is going to do. So number one, okay, this is a biggie. Okay, I'm going to actually post, I'm going to put it here on the comments. Trump 2.0 and ACA changes that I foresee, me and my crystal ball. All right, none of this, I don't have any facts on this. Okay, that I foresee, let's see, am I spelling this right? In 2026 and beyond. All right, here we go. All right, so number one, here is what I see. Okay, so Biden administration, what they did is American Rescue Plan, Inflation Reduction Act, those two things. Pretty much what they did is they enhanced subsidies. Okay, so in other words, what happened was during when that passed, subsidies were increased. Okay, which means people got more subsidies, which meant that a lot more people got $0 health plans. Okay, that's number one. Then the second thing that happened was I wish I could draw it here. I don't have the ability to draw, but the way it was under Trump 1.0 is we had, think of a little square, okay, and a cliff. When you reached a certain income level, and if you exceeded that level, you fell off the cliff, which means you got zero assistance, no help. You went from getting something to getting nothing. Under that enhancement, under the American Rescue Plan, instead of having a cliff, what they did is they made it a little rolling, let me go the other way, a little rolling hill. So what happened was you don't fall off the cliff anymore. What happened was you start getting less, you start getting the subsidies decrease little by little. So, and at some point close to the 600% mark, you lost all subsidies. But at least at 410% of the federal poverty level, you at least got something. So that was what was done under Biden. Now, we're still having for ACA year 2025, we're still under that. But what's going to happen is that is going to sunset at the end of 2025, which means that for OEP 2026, we're not going to have that unless Trump enhances that. So you tell me in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Trump is going to extend those subsidies? Okay, I'm going to put here number one. American Rescue Plan, I think it was 2021. And I'm going to put enhancements. I can't spell, enhancements of subsidies. Will Trump 2.0 extend them? Okay, that's the question. So Dushimi, I think he's going to trash them. I'm with you, man. Rochelle, I agree. Yeah, I don't really think he's going to expand it. Okay, so what does this mean for us next year? It's going to mean that people are going to have premiums, higher premiums. Are they going to stay? The unhealthy will. The healthy ones are going to say, screw it, I'm out. So you've got to have some alternatives for these people. So here's what I've got for you guys. Okay. So what are the potential alternatives? Okay. You can short term them, but remember, we're short term. You have a 4-month policy period, and then another 4 months and another 4 months. Okay. You can short term them, or I have an alternative that this coming Tuesday, I'm going to send you the invite right now. This coming Tuesday, I am going to host Mede-Share. And if you're wondering what is that, that is not insurance. It's the sharing of medical bills. And I will tell you this, I have it because I'm not paying $26 for ACA when we're all super healthy. No meds other than the meds when we get sick, antibiotics or that kind of crap, but no maintenance meds. Now I've had Medi-Share for about 6 years. Instead of paying $2,200 or $2,600, I pay $600 with a $5,000 maximum out of pocket for the entire family. I can't beat it. Now I don't have prescription copays. I don't have copays for the docs. I just wanted to take care of my big stuff. And I will tell you, I never had big stuff till last year. My son broke his back. Little accident at karate, but it wasn't the back like, oh my God, he's paralyzed, what we thought he was going to be. So we spent days at University Hospital in the children's section, and it got super serious. Turns out everything is fine, but we're close to $50,000, $60,000 for a couple of days. They paid out beautifully. So now I am a big believer of that. So I'm going to throw you guys this invite. Okay. If you want to come join us this coming Tuesday, there is, and copy this down, there is a Zoom link, February the 4th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Central. Okay. If you want to come see what Medi-Share is all about, we're going to have the company rep, and we'll have contracting ready for you guys if you want to contract. Okay. So come join us. I think it's a great alternative for certain people, not for everybody. It's going to be a great alternative for people who make a lot of money and don't want to pay ACA, along with them also being healthy. And also, I think the third thing is they have to have enough intellect to know that this is not insurance. This is the sharing of medical bills. They do not use insurance terminology. There's no such thing as a deductible. They call it something else. The out-of-pocket, they call it something else. And yes, data is amazing. Hell yeah, they pay commissions. 18% of the premium. Not too bad. Not too bad. So anyway, think about that, guys. Something that you might want to consider. But yes, we will be setting you guys up for contracting if you want it. So this coming Tuesday, February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. Central. Save that Zoom link and come and join us. All right. So that's number one. So I think you guys might be in agreement with me where I don't think Trump is going to extend that. I just don't think so. The good thing is he didn't campaign on a bunch of things that he was going to try to demolish. The first one, he went nuts. He was dead set against destroying ACA. Well, this administration, this campaign, I didn't hear squat about ACA and then wanting to do something with it. So I really, really think we're in good shape. And you get renewals. Yes. So you get renewals, and you know what? But you're not going to get, I don't think, you know what? We'll find out. I don't think it's at 18%. So after the year, it drops off, I believe. But I know first year commissions are 18 because I've written a couple. Okay. All right. But you know what? By Tuesday, I will find out for you. All right. Second thing that I think Trump is going to do. Okay. I already mentioned it. Short-term medical, 4 months. Okay. Short-term medical, 4 months. That's what we have to do with. What are your thoughts on this question? Will he extend it back to 364 days. What are your thoughts? So short-term medical, what happened, guys? September of 2024, we went from being able to purchase a policy that was 364 days, not 365, 1 day short of a year. You could buy a policy. Well, that law passed in September, and now you can only have 4 months with one carrier within the year. So you got to go 4 months here, 4 months with another carrier, and 4 months with another carrier, and then you can come back to the first one. The problem with this, guys, is look, one thing I didn't realize is that if you're in the first 4 months, what if you're in the hospital the very last day of that month and it cancels? You got to get a new one, right? Well, that new one, you think they're going to insure you because you're in the hospital? It's a pre-existing condition. You're going to get denied. So what's going to happen is you're going to be with no coverage. I didn't realize that when that policy ends, short-term medical completely ends. Doesn't matter if you're in a hospital still, you're done. So what are your thoughts? Do you think he will take it back to pre-September 2024? My thoughts, I'll tell you this. My thoughts are, yes, I do think he will. I think he'll change the law or whatever they do and go back from, he'll get rid of the 4-month crap and we'll be able to offer an entire year policy. Okay, that's my thoughts. Okay. All right, Tim Burke, is Medi-Share considered credible coverage? No, it is not. Okay, remember, Medi-Share is not insurance. That's the key to this thing. So you got to have the understanding that it's a Christian ministry sharing of medical bills. Okay, and they look back 3 years for pre-existing conditions. So again, it's not for the unhealthy. And then also, because it's Christian based, it's not going to cover drugs, like drug rehab. It's not going to cover alcohol and that kind of stuff. So, as I said, it's not for everybody. I sold one a couple of days ago to a friend of mine, high income earner, super healthy. I played tennis with a guy. The guy is a beast, super healthy, works out, does not smoke, drinks. We all have drinks, and but no maintenance medications, nothing. And he did not. The agent that he was working with prior offered him a short-term medical plan. I'm sorry, an ACA plan. It's like, I don't want to pay these stupid premiums with a $9,000 maximum out of pocket. So he hit me up. I offered him a short-term. Premiums were a little high. And I told him, and then he said, what do you do? I'm like, this is what I've got. And I shared my story of my boy. And he was like, run me some rates. We did it. And good to go. So is it credible coverage? It is not coverage. It is not insurance. Okay, number three. So we've got number one, we've got those enhancements to the subsidies. Number two, we got the short-term medical crap. Here's number three, guys, that I think Trump may do. So Trump, I'm going to write it down because I will forget. Hold on here. All right, I put it in there. So my thoughts are, during Trump 1.0, he took the open enrollment and he made the window smaller. He went to a month and a half, from November the 1st to December 15th. Biden came in office and he said, screw this, and he extended it back to 2.5 months. Okay. So this past OEP, we had 2.5 months of OEP. Okay. My prediction, Trump is probably going to shorten that window again back to 1.5 months. My thoughts. Okay. My crystal ball which you know how good crystal balls are, right? And the little genie that's inside giving me that data. And I will tell you this, I've got no insider knowledge. I mean, this is what it is. And number 4, let me see. Can any of you guys guess what you think Trump is going to do? What number 4 is? Let me see here. Help me out here. Put some comments on there. What do you think? What do you think number 4 is? I got to write it down because I'm going to forget. What do you think he potentially could change? Come on, put some comments in there, guys. Think about it. Maybe there's a 5 and a 6 that I don't think about that you guys may know. Come on, somebody. Come on. Don't be afraid. Somebody. Help me out here. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Do away with DACA. Tim, I'm with you, bro. I think it's already been done with for a lot of states. So December the 9th, yes, Dushimi, I will repeat the question. I've already given you 3 things that I think Trump is going to do. What is a 4th potential thing that you think Trump would do to ACA? Okay. So DACA, well, he got rid of it in a bunch of different states. Well, I don't think it was him because the ruling came out December the 9th. So December the 9th, the ruling came out where in a bunch of, we had DACA, they took it away because we wrote a bunch of DACA and then they were canceled. And so then they came back and then they were like, okay, if you live in these states, it doesn't count. And I have a video on my channel about DACA. So yeah, I don't think he's going to push for DACA. Hell no. Okay, but that wasn't my number 4. But you know what? We'll make that number 5. Where DACA, there's just no chance in hell DACA, he's going to turn it on. Okay, it wasn't the 4 that I was thinking about, but here's what I'll do. I'm going to put number 4, no DACA. I'm with you on that one. Okay, I'm going to go to number 5. Let's see here. Mandatory increase. Oh my God, Timothy, man, I am going to tell you that I hope we get a mandatory increase in commissions. We should get paid more. Yes. I don't think so, but hey, man, I'm all for it. Hell yeah. Okay. Dushimi, man, you are right up my alley, man. Get out of my head, bro. Get out of my head because that's exactly what I was thinking. So we have right now the low income SEP for ACA, which means if you're in a non-expansion of a Medicaid state, if your income falls within this window, 100 to 150% of the federal poverty level, you get a monthly SEP. Okay, I don't understand why they need a monthly, because these guys can just flip flop and everything resets. But if you're in that 100 to 150 on a non-Medicaid expansion, or if you are in a Medicaid expansion state, it's 138 to 150. The window's lower, okay, smaller, narrower, whatever, skinnier, whatever the word you want to use. Then they get a monthly SEP. I think he's going to do away with that. Okay, I'm going to put number 6. This is also with SEPs. How about this? Boom, look at the comment, guys. I do think that Trump 2.0 is going to get rid of the ability of the utilization of SEPs without proof, without the required documentation. So Trump 1.0, if we used loss of coverage, we were required to get a letter of credible coverage. The insured would have to call their previous carrier, call that carrier and say, hey, I need a letter of credible coverage. Boom. They would get it to them immediately, and then we would submit that. That letter of credible coverage had the start date, the end date, and everybody who was insured and all the policy info. Okay. Well, you would use that as documentation or proof of that SCP. Biden came in, we don't need it. I love them Democrats. Gotta love them. Okay. No proof. Okay. Just, whatever it takes. So boom, they pulled those requests for documentation requirement. And why did they do that? Okay. My thoughts are they did it because they wanted Obamacare to grow. Guys, 24 million people have signed up for ACA. And I think that if I'm going off memory, I did a video on this thing. 75% of those 24 million are returning, with another possibly 25% new people. Okay. So 24 million insureds in ACA. I'm counting the federal states along with the state-based exchanges. It's a lot of people. I think it would be political suicide for the guy, even though he's a lame duck, even though it doesn't matter, he can't get rehired. But I think it would be political. It would ruin his legacy that he probably wants to leave if he were to really screw around with ACA and not have an alternative for those 24 million people. Okay, but I think we're going to have now where we'll have to have proof that we submit for whatever SCP we utilize. So big deal, is it not a good thing? Whatever it is, that's what we're going to have to do. Now, as far as Medicare, business as usual, guys. All I can tell you on the Medicare side of the house, okay, for you to know on Medicare, okay, there have been a few changes on that front. Okay, the biggest change that I have seen is we no longer have the LIS special election. It's gone. Okay, it sucks. I don't know why. Now, it does not mean they did away with it. Okay, we still have LIS, or seniors still have the ability to qualify for LIS. So it hasn't gone away. The only thing that went away was the fact that we can no longer use it as an SCP. Okay, the second thing is the dual side of the house, D-SNPs, people who have Medicare and Medicaid. Okay, well, if they had Medicare or Medicaid, gaining, losing, or maintaining, we could put them into a dual plan one time every quarter for the first 3 quarters of the year. Now, I think it's one time a year, and it's got to align, which means whoever their Medicaid provider is, you're going to have to use the same MAPD D-SNP provider. So if their Medicaid is Molina Medicaid, you're going to have to put them in with Molina D-SNP. Or if it's United Medicaid, you'll use United D-SNP. Okay. AEP, right now that Molina person who has Molina Medicaid could be on a United D-SNP, no big deal. But if they are already on a Molina D-SNP, you're not going to be able to put them into a United D-SNP. So some changes in there. Okay, all right. Diaz068, good question. Can people with a work visa apply for coverage? Okay, well, it depends on the visa. Okay, it depends. And here's what we're going to do. All right, let me share this screen. And share screen. Okay. All right, I'm on Healthcare.gov. And we're going to go here and we're going to type immigrants. Now, just to let you guys know, this is also in my Smartbook. I created an ACA Smartbook for you guys. Okay. Okay, I'll go get that here in a minute. Anyway, healthcare for immigrants. All right. So let's go here. All right. So sometimes I just got to search around for it. Give me a minute here. Come on. Oh, that's DACA. Come on. Oh, here we go. It'll get there nice and slow. All right. So if they have a I-551, a machine readable immigrant visa, fine. If they have an employment authorization document, an I-766, okay. If they have, what's the other one? I don't think there's another one. Okay. But these are the specific documentation types that will allow someone who is not a U.S. citizen or a green card holder to get or to have access to ACA. Okay, that's just to get access. They also have to have income to qualify for subsidies and CSRs. So if they don't have one of these eligible immigration documents to support their status, not going to work. Good question. It's a work visa. Yeah, I would find out. Usually when somebody hits me with that, I tell them, send me a picture of it. And at the bottom, it'll have the I number. Let's go to my Smartbook. And I have pictures of this in the Smartbook. So I've really made the Smartbook. All right, let's go. I'm going to share my Smartbook with you guys. Okay, so there's the Smartbook. Okay, we are going to go to Immigration and ACA Eligibility, page 13. Okay, so here's all that information. Okay, so they could have, let's go back up here. Put all this here for you. So yes, work visa is in here. Work visa, so non-immigration status, work visa, student visas, U visa. So just on this, in general, work visas, okay, fine. Now, once you know this, then you need to go over here and make sure that you get the correct immigration document. So find out what they have. Okay, now, here are some samples of these immigration types. So here's a sample green card. Another sample of a green card. These are older green cards. Here is the one that I see a lot. Okay, so you will see this one, this I-776. Okay, and then if you do get this, this is why I tell them to send me a picture. And I request pictures of the front and back. Okay, so you need the A number, the card number, category code, expiration. So all this will be on here. On a green card, I do ask for the back because you got to enter this data. Okay, here are the I-551. Here's a newer I-551. Anyway, everything is here. So you get an idea, and also it helps you determine what numbers you're going to enter into your ACA app so you can get this thing done. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you select that document, you're going to have an eligibility request that's going to tell you you're going to have to do this later. And later's no good. So get it done now. All right, any other questions, guys? I will remind you all, this coming Friday, if you scroll up in the comments, I'm sorry, not this coming Friday. We are Friday. This coming Tuesday, February the 4th, I will be having a Zoom meeting with the representative from Mede-Share. You can give us all the ins and outs, and we're going to have a Q&A. And if it's something that you think you want to provide your clientele, then we'll have contracting ready for you. and we'll get you set up. Okay. Contracting is very easy. They require a little training that you have to do so that you realize, hey, this is not insurance, and you speak the correct terminology so not to confuse people. Their quoting software is super, super easy. I'll pull it up right now just to give you an idea. Come on, baby. Okay, I'm going to log in. Okay, good. I'm trying to make sure I have no data here that I don't want to share. Okay, so I'll share this with you so you can look at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so pricing calculator. Come on. I think my internet is super. Okay, here we go. So you select your start date and you can write these policies all year long. Okay. I think this is their site. Hopefully not me. Okay. Choose your state, plug in your zip code, married, how many people? You get one rate for one person, you get another rate for two people, and then you'll get a rate for three or more. So let's just do one person, and then let's put the date of birth. Okay, and see pricing. Boom, very, very easy. Okay, look at this. So you choose kind of with, they call it the annual household portion, but that is the synonym of that word, of those words, is the maximum out of pocket. Okay, so choose 3K, 6K, 9K, 12K. You pick. I mean, it's pretty simple. Anyway, I'll be getting you guys, we'll be doing a complete review, and you can hit the rep directly. All right, Omalade, how do I answer and complete individual applications being funded by the employer? Okay, do they have ICRA? That's a question to ask. Do they have ICRA? Okay, if you have an ICRA, then you need to take care of all of that with the ICRA provider. If they don't have ICRA, well, the employer should not be paying for their individual policies. They're not supposed to. So what you could do, the employer can just give them a raise. Okay, they want to provide $100 to each employee. Hey, give them $100 in their paycheck. But an employer should not be paying for that. Okay, all right. Taiwan. How do you determine if employer coverage insurance is too expensive? Okay, the family glitch. I don't have a writing tool. Let me see here. Is this a writing tool? Nope. Course layout. Man, I don't have the ability, but here's what happens. Okay, go to my channel. Okay, and type in family glitch. Okay, and I need to make one for 2025 because if you look at it, you're going to see 2024. The only difference is the percentage. So what happens is you take the household income. I'm going to make it simple. Let's say it's 100,000. Okay. Do some math here with me. Take 100,000 and you're going to multiply that times 9.02%. Come on. Okay. You're going to get $9,020. You're going to divide that by 12 months, 751. Okay. So 751 is the threshold. Okay. So you're going to have like a T chart. On one side, you're going to have the employee only. On the other side, you're going to have a spouse, the kids, or the family. So the employee, you're going to find out what the employee pays. Okay. If the employee pays, let's say that his premium is $800, but the employer pays half. So the employer pays half of the 800, which is 400. The insured, the employee pays 400. $400 is under the threshold. It's deemed affordable. That person can get an ACA plan, but no subsidies because their group plan is affordable. Now, the spouse. Let's just say you have a spouse. The premium for the spouse, probably $800, but the employer doesn't match usually. $800 is above that 751 threshold. So the spouse rate is deemed too expensive, so the spouse can enroll and get subsidies. The children rate, let's just say that the guy is just the employee and children only. Well, that's going to be $800. That's deemed unaffordable. Or if he does a family rate, it's probably going to be $1,600. Well, that is way above the 751. So in any of those three scenarios, the rate for the spouse or the children or the family is above the threshold, which means it's unaffordable and they can get an ACA plan with subsidies. Now, when you go do that application, okay, when that application is done, you're going to put the entire household on the app. But because the employee, it's deemed affordable, you put them on the app, but you don't insure the employee. You only insure the spouse or the children or the family. That's how you do it. Okay, it would have made a lot more sense drawing it out. But I do draw it out in the video. So go to my channel and type in family glitch. Okay, how to access payment breakdown. Omalde, are you talking about commissions? If you are, send me an email and I've created a video. You should have already gotten the video, but you'll get a video where you can access e-agents where all your commission statements are. Rochelle, very good question. Damn, I wish I had the answer. But you know what? Join us on Tuesday and ask, is childbirth covered? You know what? I'm going to go to resources. Let's go to complete guidelines. Hold on here. Pulling it up. Control F. Let's see, maternity. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me share so you can follow along. Okay, so I typed in maternity, page 32. Okay, maternity, married pregnant members with a household portion of 3,000 or higher who have shared from the month of conception through the month of December are eligible for maternity sharing. Remember, this is sharing of medical bills. Sharing is limited to $125,000 for any single pregnancy event, to include antepartum care, cost of delivery, complications to the mother and the child. To be eligible, delivery must be performed by the medical doctor, a doctor of osteopathy, midwife who is properly licensed. Complications are covered. Multiple births are considered a single pregnancy event. So yes, to answer your question, yes. I didn't know that. I was already going to go with a no, but the answer is yes. Super cool. All right, I didn't know that. And also, here's the other thing. You guys are going to love this. They subscribe to the PHCS PPO network. Okay? We know our insureds love PPOs. They hate HMOs. Oh my God, HMO. But they love PPOs. So Mede-Share, it's another big plus. It's a PPO network. Omalde no ICRA. Yeah. So if the employer wants to pay, technically the employer cannot pay the premium for an ACA plan. It has to be paid personally by the insured. Now, If they want to screw around with this thing, I guess the employer can pay for it and use the employer's checking account. Not supposed to. Okay. The way around it, I would say, is employer just gives the money as income to the employee. Okay. If the employer really wants to do it right, they should be set up an ICRA. Going back to your comment, so yes. So on the premiums, the employee should pay and the employer should pay the employee. How do we sign up? If you scroll up, you know what? I'll put it here again, guys. Control C. Here we go. There is the Zoom link. Okay, make sure you copy it and save it. The meeting is going to be February the 4th, 2025, this year, next Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so use the link and come join us. Tijuana, when the employer insurance is too high, does that mean it's a SEP? No, it is not a SEP. But you remember, we can still game the system. Just put they lost coverage. That's what I do. Until we submit proof, we can play the game. All right, Dushimi, questions about Facebook ads for ACA and Medicare. Do you feel March, yes, destroys any incentive? Well, the only thing I'm aware of, Dushimi, on the marketing for social media ads is that they're calling it discrimination by us targeting a state or a city. Bunch of BS, but it is what it is. So we can no longer say, hey, I want leads in this state. Now you got to get them all over the freaking country. Well, what if you're not licensed everywhere? Oh, well. So do I think there's a way around it? I don't know. I haven't found the solution yet. It's so new. But here's what I think the alternative is going to be. Okay, the alternative is going to be that you run the ad, but when they go and fill out the lead form, you be specific about, hey, if you don't live in this state, don't fill this out. Okay. If you don't live in Texas, I don't want you. I can't help you. So goodbye. Thank you for clicking on my ad and driving up my cost. Okay. Or we're going to have to use some other platforms. I was kind of really gung-ho with TikTok, but who knows what the hell's going to happen with that. So the alternative is going to be YouTube. Google. The only problem with those guys, I have heard, I haven't done this yet, I have heard that those leads typically are higher intent leads. The problem with them is they're more expensive, but that's a win-win. If you get a bunch of low intent leads that are cheap and a few high intent leads but a little more expensive, maybe it's a wash and less work. So I don't know. I'm leaving that up to the marketing guys. I do know that the two people that I recommend, Shauna and Oscar. Shauna is still gung-ho with Facebook. I haven't seen anything like her telling me, no, it's not going to be a good thing. And then Oscar is kind of in the same boat, but he's now testing other markets. I think he's on the fence with TikTok. He was heavy TikTok, but we don't know. It could be gone in 3 months. Okay, and you people can't get TikTok, as far as I know. So if you got it, you got it. But if you don't have it, you can't get it. And YouTube may be the next frontier. Okay. The other deal is, it may be time to go back to the good old days of grassroots marketing. Okay, which is what I did. I never did social media ads prior to a couple of years ago. Okay, I was out there at flea markets, grocery stores, Dollar General. I mean, I was out there during open enrollment. Okay. And also the other thing we may double down on, which I'm probably going to do more training on, is help you guys with small business and get in there and write ICRAs so that you can get multiple enrollments from one location, one business. I got my big start with ACA in the hospitality industry. So I had a hotel insured through my PNC agency, and the owner was like, Luis, what is going on with this healthcare rate? Can you come help me? I'm like, yeah. And I realized he wasn't in my city. I'm like, okay, can you? I says, well, I'll probably need 2 days. Can you take care of my room? He's like, yeah, I got I'll comp your room. So I went to go stay with him at the hotel, and I told him, look, here's what I need. I need like 1 hour with all your employees. I need a mandatory meeting. Then I'm going to hand out my intake forms. They're going to go home that night, talk to their spouses. They're going to come back with everything. And then the next day, what I need is I need about a half hour with each one. And they all need to be here because I'm leaving the next day. And I got like 20 enrollments the first time. I'm like, yes. And he's like, hey, dude, can you go help my brother, my sister? They all have a hotel. And I'm like, well, can you get me a room too? And literally, I didn't come home. Okay, it was kind of odd. I'm like, hey, babe, yeah, I'm going to another hotel in this city, and I just literally was all over Texas because the hotel community is a very tight community, and we started going with one, and they're like, can you go over here and do this one? Oh, okay, I got to, it just literally, I think I probably did just that kind of stuff. Probably did 1,000 that first year. I mean, it was nuts, so good. Okay. So yeah, Google, TikTok might be the way to go. Rochelle, Shauna just updated the course to address these issues. Yes, she sent me a video. So yeah, I do think so. I think she's still 100% Facebook. And you're right, there is an update to the course. I think we're just going to have to adapt. I don't know the specific on it, Rochelle. Can you share a little bit here on the comment? Was it the lead form that we have to narrow down the state? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to have her on one of these calls. Oh, shoot. I got to get going. Okay, guys. Hey, Rochelle, we'll connect. I think you have my cell. Will you send me a text? Guys, I have to roll. Thank you for being on today. I appreciate it. Don't forget, come join us February the 4th. An alternative to ACA. I do think what's going to happen, guys, is if he gets rid, or if he does not extend the enhancements to subsidies, we're going to have higher rates next year. Okay, and here's my prediction: the sick, the unhealthy, the ones that are taking meds and have conditions, they're going to stay. They're going to have to pay. They're not going to be happy, but they're going to have to pay. Okay, the healthy ones are going to be like, screw this, I'm out. Those are the ones, the healthy ones. Those are the ones that I think we're going to be able to write with either a short-term medical, but then we got this 4-month game unless he changes it, or you put him into Mede-Share. So you want to have that alternative, okay? And we can write Mede-Share all year long. Amalde, I got your, okay, sounds good. Okay, all right, guys. I got to get out of here. Got an appointment here at 10:45. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your comments, and help me out. If you're a subscriber, subscribe, or I appreciate you. If you're not, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7K. I'm right there. I think I'm a couple hundred away from getting to 7,000 subscribers. Help me get there. I would appreciate it. Share me with your friends, your other insurance colleagues. All right. Thank you.